Oh, Texas Charlotte. Oh man. Hmm. Bruh.
QFX says.
QFX.
Wad up, mister, I'm picky.
Huh? Picky how? I am picky, but how?
Beark108 says.
There.
Why am I getting tampons ad on Twitch LOL? QFX says.
It's your pussy.
That's the excuse you gave Terry when he asked why you have no girlfriend.
It's true. I mean, I don't know, man. I have no idea why. It's inexplicable. I mean, look at where I work. Look at this. Look at this place. It's like a cave. Now, stuff's happening all around me, but I'm in a cocoon. Okay, my safe space, if you will.
Beark108
I'll start
says.
getting those tampon ads.
Yeah, I'm on my period constantly. QFX
Well,
says. Never met another chick in arena, huh?
we don't know that. We don't know that. Oh my gosh. I have got to figure out how I'm going to get more sleep than I do. I think I'm losing my damn mind. I really believe this. Wholeheartedly, I do.
Sheer Curry says.
Shikari.
Are they extra large tampons?
I didn't even know they came in different sizes. Oh, that must be rough. You know what? I should have looked before the
QFX
stream,
says.
but I'm going to see if I have any
I
reason.
actually watched some Dutch chick pump shuffles today. She was Josin at 1905 to 1.
Really?
Beark108 says. Yeah,
Oh,
big vagina size.
yes! Yes! Got it. We got an eraser. We have an eraser! I'm going to get more of those before I run out.
QFX says.
Men,
She's
we're always
already
prepared.
taken. Keep your dick in your pants.
What are you
Sheer
talking
Curry
about?
says.
The wow shape?
LMAO huge vagina.
I need an extra large. Extra
Windy City
large.
1828 says.
Windy City, what's up?
Good evening, Luth.
How are you doing, Windy City? How do we get this open? I don't have nails. The hell?
QFX says. I generate similar AI stuff, for a different purpose though.
I'm just saying This place is a cave. All right.
Sheer Curry says.
Freaking cave.
QFX, I bet yours have bigger tits.
Yeah, he prompts it. He's
QFX
the
says.
GF prompt.
You have no idea.
We have an idea, and you.
Beark108
Every once in a
says.
while, I'll check in with Shattering
I
Me. Is
guess
this
your model is small vagina size.
what this one? This one is in fact AI because I came to my senses. I can't stream real life chicks on here. But if y'all want to follow along, we have this in our AI section. But the best thing to do is to get a real life reference photo and just try to mimic what I'm doing, how I'm developing. Get a pose that's similar to
Raquel
this.
says. Whoa, this girl has an insane six-pack.
Yeah.
QFX says. Man, this rank 1 holy pally Swedish chick is hot, man.
You said she's taken though, right? So why
Beark108
are you
says.
watching her? You're gonna get attached
Ask
and you'll be
AI
like,
what size she is.
what size she is?
QFX says. NA, that was the Dutch chick.
Oh, the Dutch chick was hot, or the Swedish? Oh, the Dutch chick wasn't hot, but she was taken. The Swedish chick is hot. She's not taken. Is that what you're saying? Or are they both hot? Because this matters.
Beark108 says. Tampon size. Future Oil Painter says. Hello, fellow virgin nerds. I'm counting myself as an honorary virgin.
You're married. You're unhappily married. All right, let's get started. What do we do? First thing we do, we sharpen our pencil like this. So I can move this chat. The chat's fine. Plus, nobody probably ever reads this.
Raquel Afrau says. Replying to Beark108, tampon size, you do know that girls wear different sizes for different days of the same period, right? Raquel Afrau says. What a weird question.
I might have asked that question, and I am completely ignorant of all these things. I think I was asked to buy tampons
Raquel
once.
Afrau says. Wait, really?
And I was
Future
so
Oil
lost.
Painter says. Holly Gozinga's look good looking blow up doll.
Wait, Holly, is she's the Swedish chick? She looks like a blow up doll? Is that what you're saying? One second, I need to get my chat up because I'm a little bit lost here. Here's the other thing is that, again, I need to come up with the sleep deprivation issue that I am having, in fact, because my brain is not functioning. It is an issue, right? Okay, wait. We got this.
I do not know, luckily. Raquel Afrau says. Yeah, the different tampon sizes are for different days of the same period.
Is it?
First and second day you have more blood, so you use a bigger size so that you don't leak.
Oh, Rachel.
QFX says.
Interesting.
Interesting. Sheer Curry says. Lewis, do you know what a diva cup is?
I
Raquel
totally
says,
know
the more you know.
what a diva
Future
cup
Oil Painter
is.
says,
I can't believe
Holy Gazingas. Raquel Afrau says,
you would even ask me that.
Am I the only
Cup.
woman here?
Cup. Who asked that?
Sheer Curry says.
Debatably,
Rachel, me too.
Allowing up to 12 hours of wear. Comes in 3 sizes. 0, 1, 2.
Raquel Afrau says.
Interesting.
Hello, fellow woman, LOL.
Whoops.
Future Oil Painter says. There's other women in here, but it's complicated.
It always gets complicated with women.
QFX says. I only see one.
There's okay.
Sheer Curry says. QFX, is it you? QFX says. Maybe. Sheer Curry says. Are you looking up Diva Cup LMAO?
I did not have to look up what a Diva Cup was. I know these things because I'm extremely experienced with women, okay? I didn't have to look that up. All right, what do we do first?
Berk108 says,
Mark the
can you at
bottom.
least simplify the bleeding LOL? Raquelafrio says, he knows these things. Raquelafrio says, and yet not about tampon sizes.
I was testing you to see if you knew what it was, all right? And then we go up to the
Future Oil
crotchal
Painter
area
says, height and width.
and center.
Raquelafrio says, MHM.
It's just subject to change. All right, so we're gonna keep it. So what I do normally, when you first start, this stuff is extremely difficult, right? I mean, for me, it was extremely simple, but for other like idiot, idiot people, stupid, dumb people that I was surrounded by daily, it was extremely difficult. So I observed them struggling with this. I had no struggles myself. You just want to keep it here for a while and really test these points, right? You do, and it's boring, but it is what it is. You gotta train your mind to see these things, right? And I normally
QFX
go
says,
off a standing leg.
are those legs longer than usual?
Well, those are some nice legs. So I would say if they are longer than usual, that's how all legs should be. Okay? So suck on that.
Future Oil
Standing
Painter
leg. That's
says,
the one you want to go off of.
quiet look, I'm busy looking at the model
Here we
LOL.
go. Good. We have focus there.
Raquelafrio says,
Disrespect for the genius
ha ha
mastermind
ha.
teacher, but I'll let that
QFX
slide out my
says,
compassion.
reasonable.
Okay. Now, from here, standing leg. Why standing leg? Standing leg is going to be the most planted one for the most part. The feet are going to be planted, right? And they're going to be taped, but the standing leg is the leg that probably most likely is not going to be moving as much, especially at first. Also, the one most of the time, I guess in this position it's a little different, but most of the time standing leg is closer to the suprasternal notch, this piece right here, and so you can shoot up immediately from it. So I'm going from the medial side, which is the inside of her right foot on our left. Yes, right. So I can just mark the width. One, and you just take your time with this and try to see this whole thing as you're doing it. It'll help you get that width. All right, so mark it around here something, and then from here, I normally like to shoot over to the other foot to try to get the relationship. So you want to make sure that a couple of things. She's standing, it feels solid that she's standing. She's not floating and she's not
Future
falling
Oil Painter
over.
says, gotcha gotcha.
Yeah. So we got this piece. From here, we go straight over in this. First off, I recommend going off this photograph that I have here. It's in our AI section, but it is AI. The anatomy is pretty good, but the hands and the wrists and stuff are kind of weird sometimes. And
QFX
then you get
says,
into the digits. Like,
did you do floating with the Italian GF?
I don't know what that means. Do floating? I never drew her except her face. I did an awesome portrait of her. Really good portrait of her. Then I gave her elf ears and convinced my brother that elves exist. That's a true story, but I'll tell you that one later. I really did. He was about 16, 17. I got him. Dad was very displeased with him. He was very disappointed. Very disappointed. Anyway, from here, this one's down a little bit lower. So we're just taking our time looking at this whole thing, right?
QFX says,
Get the angle of the
so you
foot.
did floating with him.
I don't know what that means. You're trying to get me to say something. You're just like shutting me yesterday. Stab me in the back. This is an HB, by the way, I'm working. But the HB responds well to this paper. Like this the Bristol paper the smooth, nice, high quality Bristol, I actually
Berk108
used like a
says,
B or a 2
you had
before.
Italian GF?
Yes, for a time
QFX says,
that I did not deserve.
she
She was
got you
really
good.
good. She got you good. Yeah, she did get me. I should have known, man. Reverse it. I keep on forgetting that you can clip stuff on this, and then I say stupid shit and I have to suffer later. Okay, so from here we're gonna do the same thing. And here's the thing. That's a very basic way of putting the feet in.
Future oil painter says.
I'm just getting the width.
Look, you had a GF.
At one time, yes.
Future oil painter
At
says.
one time I did.
What?
Huh? I did. She was really, really, really pretty too. Which you don't go out with ugly people. Just kidding. It's horrible. No, I'm at that point where I'm kind of like,
QFX says. I don't believe it.
I know nobody will ever believe that. All right, from here, we're gonna go straight up
Future
to the
oil
crotch
painter
origin.
says. Like a real human.
Allegedly is. Okay, so this is roughly where the crotch is gonna be. Now, I am working this up. I'm going slow with this so you can follow along with whatever you're doing, which I know y'all are just insulting me, so your brains aren't gonna grow. Okay? So get your shots in. There we
Windy
go.
City 1828 says. I believe it.
Thank you, Wendy
Berk 108
City.
says. Monica Bellucci.
She was pretty. Monica Bellucci's pretty too. Yeah, I agree. Not all actresses, actresses are good looking, but not all of them are really that great looking. Anyway, and they definitely don't act like it either. Like really nice. There's some really good ones. You know who I met was Renee Zellweger. I told y'all when we were young, and she was just so kind to us. She really was. Like, I mean, I was young. I was probably 14 or 15, and I don't really care if I see
Sheer Curry
famous
says.
people at all.
Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle. I definitely know who Susan Boyle is. I definitely do not need to look up who Susan Boyle is. I'm just checking the time right now. Susan Boyle. And
Sheer Curry says. How in the world did you meet Renee Zellweger?
because we used to have a beach house a long time ago, and they stayed at the one beside ours, and my
Windy City
sister really liked her.
1828 says. That we Scotch lass.
Hmm. And is she Scottish? But yeah, and she was just really cool. And this was the time when she had just gotten done with Jerry Maguire, so she had just hit it big. It was kind of crazy. It was really cool. But like I said, I'm not like one of these people who gets shocked when they see a famous person. I just look, I say, all right, it's a person who has that type of job. I'm dead serious. But
QFX
she was
says.
she was really cool. She was
Did you
nice.
do her?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was 14. Of course I would have. Yeah. Dumb. All right, so we're just like this is literally I'm trying to slow down because I go fast sometimes because I want to get everything in so everybody sees stuff, but then I think that sometimes it's like it's very easy for people to get the misconception that they're supposed to be going that fast. And I'm always saying, look, this is how you do it, but slow down, take time doing this. So I'm actually going to take my time with this one. And I'm actually very tired right now, so I'll be making mistakes, which is good, so I'll have to correct it. All right, so it's like I'm going back in time here. Now from here, I'm like, okay, because this is a standing model. We're pretending like this is real life. She's moving, so we got to do this very simple. So I'm not messing with any of this stuff yet. We don't really need to. Now, if it's a bent leg, like, a leg that's, sure, sure. We put like, go from the hip to the knee, the knee to the ankle, fine, do that. From here,
Future
so
oil painter
essentially go here,
says.
1, 2,
Usually when I see a famous person they
and then
look at me
across,
and laugh for some reason.
like that. Because you probably aren't wearing clothes. Probably pulling a Mary Magdalene using that ass length hair to cover yourself, thinking that's
Berk
normal.
108
It
says.
works at home.
I met Adele and other celebrities like Bruce
Adele?
Springsteen,
No way.
Lionel Richie, Paul McCartney, list goes on. Adele was super cool.
Cool, man.
Future oil painter says.
Really cool.
LOL.
I think, yeah, I mean, there's some really nice people out there. There are. Like, I know celebrities get a bad rap, and I think they've earned it for a lot of them have, but there's also a lot. Here's the thing, like Hollywood and all that, I would not want to. I would not trade it. I do not want to go out there. I wouldn't want to be a part of it. It has to
Share
be a
Curry says,
rough world, man.
I met the Night Watch.
Did you? No way.
QFX says, yeah, I met myself. I was very nice and all.
Psycho. All right, so from here, this is what we'll do. From here, normally, if I'm going quickly and I kind of want, I'm going from joint to joint. So this is the hip area here to
Share
here.
Curry says,
There's a little space,
QFX, I don't believe the last part.
and then out here like that. Look at that. And then we can check these points, make sure they're correct. And so I'm just going to kind of somewhere around there. That's going to be it. I might bring this. I don't know. That's pretty close.
QFX says, reasonable.
But from here, what we can do, we want to go off like I'm going to get this leg in a second, but let's go all the way at the top so we're looking at the whole thing, not just saying, okay, we're not just working our way up. But the reason why we start here is because that's planted and it's not going to move. So you can, that's a solid point of reference that's not going to move and you can always go back to. So from here, you can kind of see the midpoint how it comes up at this direction here, but we need to plumb line down from the pit of the neck, that's the suprasternal notch, all the way down. Straighten this up as much as I can. I'm going off my iPad. It should be, I mean, it's kind of falling in
Future Oil
between.
Painter says,
It's the reference
Lewis,
photo.
usually I draw one vertical line to help me check widths and height.
Yeah, and that's good to do in like stagnant things especially. Um, and you can keep that on the model too. There's nothing like sometimes I remember we would actually draw a line going through sometimes. You can do that. Just make it light. And for still lifes too, and for cast drawing, we would do this. We would always set the plumb line up on the cast and the plumb line going down, and then you would draw the line on your paper. So you always stand where you line back up, right? That's very valid. And then after a while, you take it away. I forgot that we did that. I don't know if we ever for the model. I don't think we did because we wouldn't have the plumb line like physically going down. So it'd be kind of strange to see a mark on your page, but nothing up there. And that's kind of messing with impression, but you could still do it, but I would do it lightly so you can take it off. And so it's not very distracting. Like just do a very light line, like something, you know,
Windy City
something
1828
like
says,
this, just very
do you
light.
teach art classes look to novices like myself?
Yes,
Future
I
Oil
do.
Painter says,
Well,
yeah, very light.
so I teach on Thursday nights, I teach. So we have a drawing class here. And I would love
QFX
to teach
says,
more, but
you know that's a dude pose where he flexes his cock, but the AI transferred it to a chick.
you idiot. Anyway, I would love to do that. It's just you know, I I would only want to teach people who would be going somewhere with it who wouldn't waste the training. Um, I've taught people before where I guess that they're into it at first and they don't appreciate it or they slack off and they just don't really, it's almost you feel like it's wasting your time. It's not worth the money. And so like the good thing about and academies, you have people like that too. A lot of people leave. So it's a common thing. But like at the Florence Academy I used to teach when I was there, like after a while I taught. And you know, it was really and you learn a lot teaching. I love teaching, I really do. I'm the type of person I want to teach and get big paintings done too at the same time. Like that would be my thing. But people I teach, I would want them to be serious. But classes here, see, I'm not at a school and I don't want to be a part of a school because they're all like too PC for me. I would be fired.
Berk
Y'all
108
know I would be
says,
fired.
people come
And
and
probably
go.
for good reason. Yeah, people come and go. Small people, they come and go. Little people, they just don't know. But yeah, you're right. So here, we're just working with these widths and I normally keep it here for a while and then we're going to go up. Suprasternal notch was probably around here, and I'm gonna check. You want to check it off a couple different points, right? And so
Share
suprasternal
Curry
notch, like
says,
it was here.
aren't people less PC in Italy? Windy
I don't
City
know about
1828
now.
says, I gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about now, but I mean, here it's like everything's so. I think it's kind of like everything is padded against getting sued, right? So like back in the day, teachers used to beat the shit out of their students. Like my
Berk108
friend was
says,
telling how
they don't say.
they don't my friend was saying how like they were cutting up in class once,
Future
like
Oil
at
Painter
Catholic
says,
school. This is a long
when
time
I
ago.
took an art class at local college, the teacher was very disappointed when I said I was going to architecture school. Should have listened.
Architect though, man. Architecture's good. But anyway, the nun was teaching them, and I think she like gave one of them a bloody nose, and he couldn't stop laughing. Now, and and at one time, they threw chalk at him and stuff. He's like, they were mean, but they would be laughing so hard, and it would just be funny, and it was normal. And I'm not saying that that's like the right way of doing it, but now it's gone so far the other way, where, and I'm not saying I would go in and I would never hit anybody, but I'm just saying it's gotten to the point where now it's like the kids are hitting the teachers and the teachers can't do anything about it half the time. And it's crazy. It's like now that the parents are upset with the teachers when their kid gets in trouble. When I got in trouble at school, it didn't matter what I did. I was in trouble at home too. And that's what kept me out of trouble. And so everything's kind of reversed now, and I don't want any part of that because let me tell you something. If I had somebody, and if I was in a position where, like, look, if I
QFX
ever have
says,
kids,
one of my teachers was a total dick. At one point he kicked a student down the stairs and got fired. LMAO, karma's a bitch.
yeah, I mean, you don't do that, but I mean, like, sometimes people deserve to get their ass whooped. It's true, especially guys, and I- it's just how it is. I'm not saying like to close fist them I'm not saying that, but there is something to like I would discipline. I would discipline. But I'd also say something like that would upset somebody, and then a
QFX
parent would hear
says,
about it, and then I'd
NA
be
that teacher was an ass
fired, and
and
then it'd be in
tested
the
the line of
paper.
what he'd get away with.
Like I would not when Terry asked me to teach at his school, I was actually very nervous. I was like, all right, just don't. You got to be careful because I'm by myself
Berk108
most of the time,
says,
so I don't filter
Italy
things.
is very tribal culture, also very flexible in opinions based on survival and profit. In other words, opportunistic. I don't trust anyone here. LOL.
You should never trust anybody until you get to know them. 100%, man. And it is tribalistic. And tribalistic that's human nature. That's just how. But my point being, now it's so. And here's the other thing. I know a lot of those people in academia here. I do because I live in a college town and I know a lot of the
QFX
teachers.
says,
Fucking
yet
stupid.
I'd never trust you to get me to 2300.
As you shouldn't. I can't do jack shit right now. Um, I'm too tired to. I can't put that stuff to. Anyway, but yeah, like teaching. And here's the thing, I would be one of the best teachers there, but it would not be compatible for what they would want because they're all fucking pussies. Excuse me. But that's the truth. That is the truth. Everybody, they're just like they're very weak people and they create weak. They cater to the weak. And I believe in rooting that stuff out. And sometimes that doesn't look too pretty. It's just how it is. And I'm not saying I'm like the toughest guy there, but this is like common sense stuff. You know, like if somebody was complaining about something, I'd tell them, shut the fuck up and just do your work. That's what I would say. In a lot of situations, now sometimes if they had a complaint, I'd be like, all right, tell me, you know. And if I was teaching myself, I'd be saying the same thing to myself. I'm
Future
harder on
Oil Painter
myself than I am
says,
on other people. Let me tell
in
you that.
elementary school, I was bullied but I fought back. Once sometimes, As a result, got a reputation and teachers looked at me as a troublemaker, and the real bullies would get me blamed for crap they would do anyways wasn't fun. QFX says,
Probably got tougher though.
somehow all the artists who haven't sold paintings in a while suddenly always like teaching. Berk108 says, we got offered some classes for beginners at local academy but refused for same reason.
Hmm. I mean, I think I'm not for bullying, but sometimes kids need to learn how to stand up for themselves. It is true. Because like in life, you're going to have people who are actually assholes who are bullies, and there's going to come a point where you don't have somebody to
Berk108
depend on.
says, it's not worth the fuss.
Yeah, local academy refused. We got offered some
Future
classes for
Oil Painter
beginners at the
says,
local academy, but
yep,
refused for the same reason.
I got tougher
Oh
guess.
yeah. Well, see, that's my point about for charity. Is like you gain these things, like you gain. It is human nature, and it's unfortunate, but you have to know how to protect yourself, and you have to know how to get back up.
QFX
You
says,
can't keep crying to mom and
LOL
dad about
Supatis
stuff.
had it rough, some kid shoved a pencil into his arm and shit.
My brother did that to me. I still have the lead in my hand right there. My sister threw scissors at me. She was a bitch.
QFX says,
So horrible.
damn.
Anyway, but like kids, here they're just not disciplined, man. They like, I went back into my high school, which there was a fight there almost every single day when I was there. I walked in, I was asked to give a talk there about 5 years ago. Walked in, and the first thing,
Sheer Curry
two
says,
chicks started fighting.
that lead makes you an artist.
The lead
Future
makes
Oil
me.
Painter says, I have a lead pellet stuck in my right thigh. Doesn't bother me.
It's just lead. It's fine. It's just a little. It's not going to do anything. I mean, for crying out loud,
Shuri Kitten says,
I have a.
it's
Consider me
always
a.
over a dude too.
You think so? It was two black chicks and they were fighting, and then I went in and I was like, all right, because I wanted to stop it, but I said, this is one of those things where things were
Sheer Curry
so
says,
uptight that you'd get in
didn't
trouble
people
for it.
fight when you were in high school?
Yes. Yeah, all the
Berk108
time.
says, world is savage jungle, do your own thing and
It was
don't
all the
let anyone
time.
touch it.
It was tiring. You always had people fighting, and it was always, oh, you should have seen the other guy when you got your ass kicked. And I didn't fight. I stayed out of that stuff. I really did. I was pretty good. I was very good. But doing stupid shit.
Future Oil Painter
Sometimes
says,
people just need to get
also
punched in the
3 skull
face.
fractures before age of 10, but don't worry, I'm perfectly healthy and normal.
Yeah, you told us that. So here's what we're doing. This is kind of, I'm going to draw this bait. Now, you've seen me draw in my class. I might stream again tomorrow night. Might stream again. This is kind of how I go about what I did here. Let me show you what I did. This is the inside of the knee, like right where the calf breaks right here. That's a point right there. And then another point is going to the top of the knee here, but then the calf break, like the calf will start here on this one. So I kind of mark that, and getting this relationship, I'll draw out these action lines, or rather relationship
Future
lines
Oil
I
Painter
look for, but
says,
I don't draw in, but I'll draw.
hard to see the inside, so much shadow.
Yeah, it's okay to open your eyes for this, but that's what I'm looking at right there, those points. And if you look at
QFX
this
says,
space here, like 1,
tell
2.
Brian we love him, even when we know he doesn't love us
And I
back.
told him that because he was here ranting about shit that was insane. It was insane. And he was like, why do they think that? I was like, I wanted to tell him, I was like, I don't know, man. But I think when I was saying it too, knowing that I'd stream and that he would make more of an effort next time, because he actually has a good heart, even though he's damn crazy. He's insane. But look, guys, I'm not saying, look, I don't need to be extra sensitive and explain my words with you guys. I'm just saying schools today here,
QFX
especially
says,
in this town, are just
really,
over the
I
top
never noticed.
wrong. Like
Berk108 says,
they're just
is there a
they're not
large
good.
tampon between those legs?
I'm
Future
glad
Oil
that
Painter
came up in your
says,
video, so
"I'll sumo wrestle him if he agrees to wear sumo underwear."
I don't want to see that. All right, so, and we can kind of shift these points. That's the beauty of this, right? So here, and also what I'm
Windy
doing,
City
I'm trying to
1828
think
says,
about the form.
"Look, could you be a courtroom artist? I love the sketches they do with pastels."
Oh, I probably could. Yeah. I'd need some practice with it, sure, but I bet you I could. So we have this super sternal notch, which by the way, up here, normally I forgot, this is my bad, I was always talking, but I'm gonna go ahead. Normally what I do when I go up here, I want to get immediately, bang, one, two, the base of the neck, down to the shoulders, that area, and
Shrikitten
then the
says, "I
armpits.
met someone that wanted to be a courtroom artist. She was really cool. She was a female wrestler and survived a Black Widow bite."
No way, dude. It's quite a resume. Something like that. So I'm going to say the neck's here, and then we're going to draw body parts to the pieces, right? So that's the neck right here. It's going to be a little bit higher, right? Because it's going
Shrikitten
up.
says,
And then let's
"Yeah,
get
tough as nails and a sweet person.
really
I
cool,
hope
really
she's
cool.
doing well."
Yeah, that's really cool. So here, and then we can see this whole piece here, and this
Future
is what
Oil
we want to
Painter
look for. One,
says,
two. Look at that
"I
neck.
think I see a straight line from the elbow to the left foot."
You're talking about left foot, her left foot? Like her left foot is here, or from our side? Although I don't know. But maybe you're right. I just don't see it. So one, two, and then normally what I do, I kind of see the armpits are up, but you want to establish the upper part of the body. So I'll just come down here and try to get the width of where like it would now be where her breast is, something there like that. So I'm just gonna kind of lightly mark
Future
this
Oil Painter
and lightly
says,
mark a piece here.
"Sorry, right foot."
Who's right? Her right or our right? One, and I'm just putting marks in, right? And all these things, y'all saw how you can shift things here, and then how wide. It's going to be something like this. And then now we have the upper part, so we can kind of do a connection here. So we go from here up to here. We got that.
Future Oil Painter says, "Her right."
Her right foot here, straight line. All oh, like that going up. Okay, okay, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. It's good that you're looking at that. Yeah, I can see that. And then from here, belly button. And from here, what we want to establish is that they call it the hip box, right? So belly button out to the sides, which you can really see on women because they have those hips, right? And the smaller rib cage, so it's going to come up. Whereas guys, it's more still visible, but it's not like this. Um, so kind of think of it kind of going around like this, right? So I'm going to mark one, and then from here two, and
Shrikitten
we're just
says, "Men
double
have
check.
those thingies on their hips."
Oh, the obliques. You're talking about this muscle right there, that one, I think, right?
Future Oil Painter says, "Yep, those hips don't lie." Shrikitten says, "Yeah."
Yeah, the obliques, yeah. Here, and then we're gonna now look
Shrikitten
what we have. We
says,
have these
"You
points here.
don't see it on women, but we have them too. It's weird."
Yeah, you do. It's just most people don't know how to work those out, right? And men do have larger ones, I think. I'm wondering if that's because their hips cover it up more, because she has them. This one has them, but not. It's like if the
Berk
women's hips
108
come out, it might
says,
stretch it out more or something.
"Love
I don't know.
handles."
They become handles, but it hides obliques. Obliques are, let's see if I have it. Mine aren't that big right now, I don't think. But they are there. They come across. I used to have larger ones when I was at the gym doing the. There was an exercise
Shrikitten
I
says,
I know what exercise to
"The
do.
pole did it for me. I didn't know I
Of
had them
course it
until they were in pain and I had to look up what that was."
It's really funny. Of course that's why. I was doing a whip exercise where I was practicing my whip skills, and that's when I got these muscles right here. I had to look it up, but I had to call poison control first. All right, so you see what we're doing? So from here, let's break the. We can do
QFX
this. We can
says,
do this. One,
is there video material of those pole sessions?
of course. There is. She used to do them on her stream, right? Yeah. Anyway,
QFX
of course,
says,
QFX. At this point,
asking for a semi-Italian friend. Sheer Curry says, I heard women have more fat around the stomach to protect the uterus sometimes. Cherie Kitten says,
probably, maybe.
yes.
Is that that's? I can see that, Shakira. Probably is. I mean, fat's, like I said, fat's good, but not when
Future
it's
Oil
like
Painter
100 pounds
says,
over.
look Buns of Steel videos 1980s edition.
I'll check it out. Anyway, from here, we can do one line like this. I normally like to go just kind of one out like this, one, and then two. Right? Those are two lines. And then what we do, here's the other thing. Okay. So there's a lot of
Sheer Curry says,
clean
men
up.
should have fat on their balls to protect those things.
Thanks, Shakuri.
Cherie Kitten
That was
says,
right on
we
point.
have the pooch yep. That lining of fat protects the uterus and gives impact resistance plus 10.
Pooch. The pooch? Never heard of the pooch before. All right, so you see how I clean that up? So sometimes your lines might look, like we have this stuff. It's like, after a while they start looking, all thick and stuff like that.
Berk108 says,
Clean that up.
it's Barber Conan's girlfriend. QFX says, how do Oyunwo we don't?
How do you know that we don't? QX, this is one of those times when QFX wished that he had a stream so he could demonstrate. Check this out. It would be his last time on
Sheer
air,
Curry
but it would have been
says,
worth it.
because y'all are always crying about your balls.
Dude,
Cherie Kitten says,
I
that's
know.
why their balls move around Curry, otherwise when you sat on them you'd crush them lol. Future Oil Painter says, clean that up, got it?
Clean it up. Yeah. Like, we have Chopin playing. I'm like demonstrating this, which this is a great conversation, but at the same time, then showing Mia, that's why their balls move around, Curry. Otherwise, when you sat on them, you crush them. LOL. These are the chicks in our stream. Rachel, if you're still there, we have
Future Oil Painter
Curry,
says,
Shutting Mia,
King Clang.
and we have Windy City, who is quiet,
Sheer
but she's
Curry says,
constantly, I know she's cracking
I
up.
always wonder how men could sit. Windy City 1828 says, look, if you wasn't an artist, what industry would you work in? QFX says, she dipped out a long time ago.
I'd
Cherie
either
Kitten
want to
says,
be in a
Windy
doctor.
City, he would be an underwear model.
Yeah, that's right. Underwear. That's a good answer. You're right. You brought me right back to my senses. I would probably try to be an anesthesiologist like my dad, which would have been much smarter.
Future Oil Painter
Honestly, it would
says,
have been. But
I have a
this is
fever
what I
and the
love.
only prescription is more cowbell, baby. Berk108 says, opera soprano.
Kurt,
QFX says,
I'll demonstrate how we
that
sit.
or a scarf model.
Okay.
Windy City 1828 says, Cherie, you crack me up.
Yeah, Sharice, she's insane. Curry is too. Curry, I'll show you how we sit, and I'll explain the process and everything. I will figure out a way to do it. If it helps you, I don't know. Here, 1, 2. That's not the issue. The issue is when you
QFX
take one,
says,
they get
insane
both.
in a good or bad way.
Probably both. She means it in a
Cherie
good way,
Kitten
obviously.
says,
She can say
you
bad
have
way.
a rare thing going here, Louis. All the
No
girls
shit.
here get along.
You know what? That's actually this is a good point. Most of the time in
Sheer
situations
Curry
I've been
says,
in, women are at each other's
it's for
throats.
science.
Mom walks in, porn's on. What? We're at the best part. This is like The theme has been good. This is for science. This for science. Yeah, sure. Well, if it's for science, obviously good. Okay, we're back. Who else? We normally have Crockett in here too. Actually, Crockett. She's been a little. Okay, so from here,
Future oil painter says.
we got
All
that.
in the name of science.
And then one thing that
Berk
really helps
108
too is
says.
to see this whole thing.
Siding is alright, try to ride a horse. QFX
Dude,
says. Your mom ever ask what you do with the 20 chick mannequins in the basement?
she knows not to ask that question. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Didn't mean to pull a Jack Sparrow on you there. I almost tripped over that thing. It's a miracle I haven't tripped as much as I haven't in the past. See, I'm coordinated.
QFX says. Nothing.
Oh, nothing's wrong. That's what somebody who
Shrikitten
has something
says.
wrong with them would say. Nothing.
You could totally put a hole in a mannequin and insert a bit of silicone. Let it cure and go at it.
The rib cage sits on top of the torso. All right. Elegant.
QFX says.
We're looking at this whole shape.
He knows that. Shrikitten says. I'm a mod.
What's your point? You are a mod. You're right.
Cher
I made you a
Curry
mod.
says.
Ain't Curry. There's
Imagine
other.
getting stuck and having to go to the ER.
My brother works on people with things up their ass every single day. And he's not a proctologist. All right. He's an anesthesiologist, but he tells us stories just like, yeah, there's like every couple of days we have to get something out of their ass. Stuff like this.
Future oil painter says. Look, go into Mr. Rogers mode. QFX says. Did he have to get something out of you yet?
This is looking very long, isn't it? And that is what she said.
Shrikitten says.
See, that might
That's why you make it wide enough. I've had to educate on going to the hospital when you get things stuck. You wouldn't believe how many people are too afraid, as if doctors haven't seen everything. QFX says. Nice dodge.
I didn't dodge anything. Wait, what did I dodge? You get something, did he have to get something out of you yet? That's just a stupid question. Why would I answer that? Idiot. And you must have started typing that message the second I finished my sentence, Shutter Me, because that was a pretty big paragraph. All right. This is, like I said, that's what she said, too long. All right.
Future oil painter says.
What do we do?
Look, is this drawing scaled up or same size? Shrikitten says. Oh, I'm a fast typer.
I don't know, honestly. Let me see. I'm not trying to do site size. I might be getting close, though.
QFX says.
This is how big it is.
I don't think anyone said that to you or me.
I like how you put to you in to make it seem like you were down to earth. Okay? Idiot. All right. So sometimes in situations, it's like we mark this point right here, and I mark this. But this is definitely too long. So.
Okay, you scaled it up. QFX says.
Yeah, I scaled it up some.
Yes, I'm portraying the underdog here.
Breast.
W1 enter ST0RM says. Hello.
Winter, what's up? You're portraying the underdog here. What is that, just like for today you're doing it here, here? So this is actually going to drop down significantly, okay? Which is fine because look how basic we drew this, right? Okay? We drew it extremely basic. So from here, I say, okay, well, let's get the rib cage and let's at least start it, okay?
Says,
now let's see
he'll
where
eventually ease you into admitting you like men too.
Feel like
W1 enter ST0RM says. Have to admit that I had better days.
Is here. Have you? What happened? You don't need to tell me. If you want to vent, you can, because, life sucks. Here, we're measuring points. We just got to measure these points so we can actually express ourselves, okay? Here, I'm looking at this whole shape at the same time. Never piecemeal like the morons do. No, no. We're finding points that go through other points. Okay, so this point here, I think is about here. Now, if that's correct, then, because I was going off the legs, at this point, you could either bring everything, make this bigger and bring this up, which is not worth it because this is mostly, I think, correct here. What I would do in this situation, which this is too wide, but I would actually bring this part down because that's not much to move, right? So let's go off this point right here, which is going. Let's see if this. Damn, I don't have this.
Future Oil Painter says. By the way, the couple that asked if I'd paint their car, they want a lot of work, landscaping, river background and their car, on 20x24 canvas, so I said $1 per square inch equals $480. Berk108 says.
Huh.
I don't like six-pack on woman. Future Oil Painter says. They will get back to me later. QFX
Cool.
says. What's that black spot between her legs?
That's essentially like just the width right there. Like I could take that out if I
Sheer
wanted
Curry
to,
says.
like that.
What in the world but for chair you hit the mother load?
Yeah. Something like that. That would be, I'm a little bit worried about the AI on Twitch picking this up and go like auto ban, because they don't have, anyway, here. And then from here, and say, okay, the width from this point up to this point,
Shurikitten
like that's
says.
obviously wrong. So
A
this should be,
painting of a car or a painting on a car.
like, guys, look how off this
Wingit4JG
was.
says. Best viewers push it now. Are you?
You're gay, whinge, fee for JG. Don't come in here again.
Future Oil Painter says. If they even accept, I have a feeling they are gonna say hell no, it's too much. QFX says.
And then from here.
LOL, you made the legs shorter after I said they're too long.
No, I didn't. No, I just, the upper body was too long for the legs. So you were saying the legs are too long before I had the upper body in. And then it turns out the legs were too short. And now you're saying, huh, you shortened legs. What's wrong with you?
Sheer Curry says.
Idiot.
I never heard of anyone charging by square inch though.
So then we just, look how far off this was. Right? So what do? We do that thing that I showed y'all last night. Remember this?
QFX says. Just compare the proportions, you made the torso way longer compared to Tay reference. Shurikitten says.
1 second.
Charge M per inch. Yep.
Here we go. See that?
Berk108 says. It's common.
There we go. All right. Now, if I need to move it up some, I can. Piece comes down. Check this out. See? Look at this. There you go.
Shurikitten says.
Fix that top piece.
It makes it sound less expensive and like a better deal. Shurikitten says. Deal.
There we go. See? Come up here, and so I'm essentially, we don't even need to draw that breast in. We can even just go across.
Some people who don't understand art need some formulas to calculate value.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Future Oil Painter says. I see lines from her left shoulder to her right love handle. QFX says. Not many inch esto charge here.
And let me bring this in just a little bit. Bring this in some. So you see this thick line right there, right? Oftentimes we keep these lines thick. It's not like you need a
Shurikitten
paper,
says, one tree equals $25.
but we can trim it down like this. This
Shurikitten
does make a
says,
difference.
one tree
One,
removal equals $50.
3. Look at that. So you can trim it down just like that, just a little bit. We want to keep the gesture, right? Or la gestura, as the Polish say. Oh, by the way, Shakari, my mom was speaking with my uncle this morning, and they were saying, "Have you seen the Dutch Brothers coffee shop? The line's like crazy, like it's blocking traffic." It's like the Dutch Brothers. It's pretty funny. So I don't know, Dutch Brothers Coffee or something. I think that's the name. Here, I've never been. I don't know what it is. But it's like, it's curious people. It's pretty funny. So here we want to make sure this hip's dropping, and so we just like I'm keeping this very simple. Just do a straight line here. I want to
QFX
kind of keep
says,
this point, and you could even
bet they
say a
spice
straight
it
line
up.
going down here like this. This is like
Shurikitten says,
totally fine to
I
do.
saw an Italian candy called a lemon set. I wondered how you would say that.
It,
Beark108 says,
chete would be
you
chete,
uncover Jim Camel toe. Sheer
or
Curry says,
not chete,
wait, what
chete.
Dutch Brothers?
It was like a coffee shop. I'll get the name of it. It might be something else, Dutch something or other. But yeah, it's a coffee shop here that apparently is like very popular. But I don't know because I don't ever get out ever. I bringed this point up somehow. All right, and this seems like it's going in a
Sheer
little bit
Curry
too much.
says,
Probably needs to be going out, but we
you
can
know
fix
what
that.
a Dutch coffee shop is LOL. QFX says,
Uh-uh.
always
No,
in that basement with those mannequins.
no. What is it? Am I missing? Like they sell coffee, right? It's a coffee shop.
Sheer Curry says, here coffee shops sell weed.
Are you kidding me? Well, I knew that like Amsterdam. I wasn't sure if everybody did, but all right. And so let's double check. This belly button might need to go down just a little bit. So at this point, we're keeping it simple, right? We just got it. We have to. Now I'm not going fast with this one. This is very slow, right? Trying to at least. Here.
Beark108 says, magic cookies.
I don't think that it sells weed. It's something that'd be probably unfortunate, but also funny at the same time. Um, and it would make sense here. And then the arms, I gotta go in a second because I gotta take Dad somewhere, um, but
Sheer
I can
Curry
pick this one
says,
back up.
is your mom extra happy when she
I
goes there?
don't think she goes there. You know, we no. I mean my well, I won't say who, but around like, you know, people who do the what is it, those gummies and stuff, you know, that but I don't do any of that stuff. I don't want to get into any of that stuff.
QFX says,
I forget what they're
she's
called.
def not happy when she steps into the basement.
The mannequins.
Shurikitten
Oh, what a
says,
sad existence.
CBD.
CBD, yeah. That's it, CBD. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to. The last thing I need is some chemical addiction. You know, I think it would be my downfall. You know how weird I'd get? I already have issues. You know what I was doing the other day? Like I will joke with people and make like I don't mean to, but every once and I'm pretty solid at making people feel okay. But one joke I've noticed, I've been testing it on some people,
Sheer
which
Curry says, You can't get addicted to weed, they say.
I think you can, because I've known some people. I grew up with some people, but anyway, um, I've been trying to pawn my dad off to strangers.
Beark108
Are you
says,
interested in an old man?
yes, you
I have a
can.
special, you know. Don't.
QFX
I've
says,
done it like once or twice
really?
to friends
I never
actually.
noticed.
What was that?
Shrikitten says, you can get addicted to weed or anything. Not chemical addiction but habitual addiction,
Oh,
yes.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would imagine, it's something that. So
Sheer Curry
this is still
says,
probably a little bit
I
off.
would buy your dad to draw.
Good. I'll sell them to you. Um. Yeah, but like the other day. Okay, so like
Sheer Curry says,
somebody I grew up with.
mostly stoners say you can't get addicted. Shrikitten says, my mods are stoners and have educated me, lol.
Shuri, yeah, but Shuri, I agree with you actually on that. Or Shikari, I agree with what you said. The mostly stoners, that's what I think too. Because I have seen, I have some, yeah. Anyway, we'll get into it. But what was I gonna
W1
say?
enter ST0RM says, work is a little bit shit at the moment, but it is what it is. We'll draw some landscape or something to make me feel better
Good.
before going to bed and it will be alright.
Okay, good man. All
QFX
right. Well,
says,
sorry that sucks.
ID draw him when he grabs your nuts and plays Nutcracker.
He's so funny though, man. But yeah, like the other day I was walking on the street and like one of my friends who I grew up with, I was like, what's up? And she was walking her dog. I was like, I'll trade you because I was walking my dad. I was like, she's like, ha ha ha, ha, and she made the most nervous laugh. I was like, which is, it was, I don't think that was my fault. It's just sometimes people get awkward, but I think, and then the other, like a couple days ago, I
Shrikitten says,
was walking on the street and
she was really thinking you would trade lol.
I think she took me serious. I was just like, this is one of those things that's so ridiculous that you have to
QFX
know it's a joke.
says, does she have daddy issues?
Her dad's really cool. I'm good friends with him. Um, but I don't think so. I don't know. Probably all women have daddy issues. I don't know. Maybe not. Everybody has daddy issues, especially the goths.
Future Oil Painter
Dad
says,
never understood me.
look, you reminded me of Dumb and Dumber. Scene if a bikini bus team asks if you know anyone who could rub suntan lotion on M.
Okay, it's
Don't
like
tell them where they can
right
go.
down that way.
Sheer Curry says, sounds like a normal thing to say to me.
Exactly, right? And so another thing I did, I was walking down, one of my friends who I knew was in the neighborhood, and I was just like, what's up? And there were a bunch of workers with him. I was like, it's like, they're like, is that your dad? I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, look, I got him on the black market, but I'll give you guys a good deal right now. I'm trying to pawn him off. You want him? And I think some of them liked it. Like that was they were pleased with that joke. I was like, okay, I was testing. I was like, is this good? And here's the thing. I don't care if the joke flops. I really don't. And I don't reuse them. I try to pawn them off then. And that's that. I'll come up with something else next time. You got to keep it fresh. Black market, you know. So I'm just checking these points. This is looking weird to me right here. This looks a little bit elongated because if I put
QFX says,
this piece in here,
didn't Curry's dad want to sell her? Wonder how much he wanted.
this actually might work. Did your dad want to sell you? Kind of want to hear this now.
Sheer Curry
I'm
says,
interested.
how did you remember that QFX?
It's not something that you would necessarily forget if you do. What happened? This piece comes down. Let's keep on checking this stuff. We got to check these points. To me, it's looking okay.
Sheer Curry says, he would pick me up and yell child for sale as a joke.
I think I remember that now.
QFX says,
He sounds
how
so
much
cool.
did he want?
That is so
Sheer
funny.
Curry says, mostly at home.
Oh, dude, that
Sheer
is
Curry
so
says,
funny. I want to do that.
nobody asked.
Especially like somebody's pissing you off. You go
QFX
out in public and
says,
be like, we got somebody for
kinda
sale.
steep.
Oh, that is so good. Oh, that must your dad sounds so cool. That's exactly like that's perfect humor right there. Freeze the child. They're like, oh my God. I made oh gosh, this is horrible. I made my nephew screaming cry the other day because I think I s- I think I he should have known better, but he's young. I think I said like talking about like cutting his hand off. I was like, go get the knife, and he started screaming. And I was just like, it was bad. That sounds.
Future
I don't
oil
remember
painter
what
says,
exactly it was, but
child for
everybody
sale
else was
just one
laughing.
Kremnitz white old Holland tube.
Yeah, just buy me a corn dog,
QFX says, how about half a tube?
and then the angle of the head is about here. Really, what I should have done here. Let's reestablish this suprasternal notch, and then I want to see this whole shape and say, okay, I think the hands are going to be here, which the
Sheer
top of
Curry
the head is going to
says,
be around here.
ID take it.
Yeah, damn right you would. Half a tube. So that's about looking at this whole thing. And so now, like, we're very basically simply blocking this in, but this is how you work these drawings up. And this is about as fast as you would go, but you're not going to be as accurate probably at first. This, mine probably is totally off. But like I said, so a common thing is to have, like, I'm constantly cleaning up, which that really made an effort for me to like learn how to. I have my eraser in my left hand, and so sometimes I'll be
Future
using
oil
my
painter
left, sometimes my
says,
right, but
what do they call that V-shaped collarbone?
V-shaped collarbone, that the suprasternal notch, that one right here. Or are you talking about some other V shape? All right, but like I said before, you'll find your drawings like sometimes because like you're correcting so much and you feel like you can't keep up or whatever, or you're not going quick enough, and so
Future
they'll
oil
be like
painter
really
says,
fuzzy
okay.
and like sketchy
Sharikitten
and stuff,
says,
right?
sternocleidomastoid.
Is that it?
Future oil painter says,
Okay,
that one.
okay. And so then again, get in the habit of constantly cleaning your lines up because let's go back to this. Like if this is like this, it could be anywhere in between that point, but you want to be accurate and every if you're judging off of a point, you don't want to judge off of this width. Like if you get this side measuring this piece or this piece, that's a huge difference. So you need to establish the exact line, and it's going to clean it up. It's going to make it much easier for you. And all you have to do is slow yourself down and go in and just learn to draw with eraser. Like you got to think, I'm not erasing, I'm just drawing with eraser like that. And just go over it. And because like doing that, now you can judge off that and you can see it better, right? And so yeah, that's that. What else? I was gonna say something else. Um, oh yeah, slowing yourself down will actually make you quicker because when you learn these things, you'll go fast. But to learn them, you'll learn them faster if you slow down. If you're constantly going quick because you're like, oh, my hand must move fast. Your hand will move fast after you've practiced that motion several times. You'll get quicker automatically. So I wouldn't rush it. Like oftentimes, if you're trying to go fast, and you're doing that every exercise, you're developing bad habits. That's what I think. And so I think when you slow down and watch what you're doing and what each side of is being affected by the line, eventually you'll speed up and start getting these things quicker, right? You'll start seeing things faster and stuff. And um, like that's what I think. And what I think is always right because I'm never wrong. I know everything.
Future Oil Painter
Convinced.
says, while I was at Blix, they mentioned their rainbow art show, asked if I had any colorful paintings, was like nope.
Rainbow art show. Now, is it like a genuinely rainbow art show, or are they doing it for some pride thing? Since I don't trust anybody, I'm just asking. 'Cause I don't want to have anything to do with anything weird. All right. Here. And then we just constantly just keep on looking and trying to fix these things. So I
Future
kind of,
Oil Painter says, think it was pride thing.
oh yeah, just be polite, say, no, I don't. Or I almost got banned off Twitch just now. But so I'm not gonna say it. I'm actually exercising my filter for once. This is the first time probably this year. Feels not good. I don't like it. All right.
Future Oil Painter says, the first clue was the guy in the counter had makeup on and a red flower on his hair.
Okay.
Sheer Curry says, you guys need some gay friends. They are
No, we
just
don't.
like real people.
Just like
QFX
real
says,
people.
you ever pay chicks to see them naked and pretend to do it for art?
What, me? No, dude, if I fell into that, I would feel so creepy. Now, there are photographers all around here that do that, and they're just the worst. But no, I've never done that. Never done that. Oh, keep it
QFX
straight.
says, you do that every Thursday XD.
I don't do it because I want to see them naked. I do it because I want to freaking draw a naked person. There's a difference. See what we're doing.
QFX says, right.
Right. You know, QFX, here's
QFX
what you're doing.
says, now it all makes sense.
You project your own perverted nature upon everybody else because you cannot come to grips that you are the way that you are, which is sick. I don't think you are. I just think you're a little jackass that needs a wedgie and a trip up the flagpole and then a teabag in a video game all at once. That's what, because you won't play games with me. Extremely mature. This is totally off. I can already tell this is off. But so, which is good. Like I said, like I am pretty much retarded right now, and so I will have to be correcting this
QFX says,
quite a bit.
okay,
Why is
do I
my
watch the Kardashians or do you? Cause I didn't bring M up my picky guy.
I brought them up
Future Oil
because you keep
Painter
on saying
says,
stuff about big
it's one of
booties
the only
and
ways a virgin can
boobs.
see a naked female, someone told me.
Shake it off. Shake it off. The head is too
QFX
big. That's what she
says,
said.
how do you
Huh?
know they have big booties if you never watch M?
This whole thing, Brian pulled this on me too. So I was like, I'm not listening to this person on talk radio just because I don't care enough to. He's like, well, then how can you have an opinion on him if you haven't heard him talk? I was like, well, I can have an opinion on him. You can disagree with him or not. It's the same thing. It's bullshit. All you need to do, you don't need to freaking study the anatomy of the Kardashians at, you know, ad nauseum. You just need to look at one photograph and be like, this is not normal. And it's freaking weird. That's all you have to do. Kardashians. The booty is so big that you cannot miss it. QFX. You know what? I think you already know these answers. You just want to hear me say it. And one of these days, y'all are going to get me in trouble because you know I don't have a filter. And I'm not mature enough to take the high ground. I don't believe in the high ground anymore. That I
Shurikitten
did at one
says,
time.
most people in Hollywood now want no booty and do Ozempic. QFX says, interesting take, sounds crazy enough to be true.
I'm just
Futury
saying,
Oil Painter says,
some booty is nice,
what's next
but
on the
not
drawing?
a freaking
Sheer
truck.
Curry says, they always have a full diaper.
Oh, gosh. Ugh. Well said, Shakuri. Good job on that one. You said that other night. It was kind of funny. Forgot what it was. Anyway, totally
QFX
random.
says, I wonder if they sell them.
Dude, I don't even want to think about it. It makes me want to gag. It makes me
Sheer
need
Curry
limoncello.
says, are you interested?
Interested in what, Shakuri? Oh, buying oh yeah, the diaper? I think you hadn't need to ask that one. I think we
Shurikitten
already.
says, sell booty. QFX says, Lewis is, if they were dudes.
It's another gay joke. Keep it up. Keep it up. Curry, just ban him. We freaking that. You know what? That's gonna happen one of these days. I'm gonna make sure of it. We banned Jeff that one time. Do you remember that?
QFX says, you got it? Shurikitten says, people sell diapers in Abdul yet.
Bring that neck in just a little bit, and then I'm gonna bring this piece in some too to match. Because this is too wide. This needs to come in something like
Shurikitten
that.
says, what about when I banned Jeff? LOL.
Do you remember? Well, here's the thing. We did it jokingly in stream. I think I banned him at one
Sheer
point, then I
Curry
brought him back.
says,
But you actually
you
banned him
can't
at
ban
one
Jeff,
point.
he's like a butterfly. QFX says,
Oh,
didn't that
she
one
did though.
actor chick sell vagina smelling candles?
Oh, dude. Did she? I don't want to know this. Did she? Did she though?
Shurikitten says, fuck yeah I did.
You did, and I had to get him back. I was like, what?
Sheer Curry says, Gwyneth Paltrow I think.
Gwyneth? Gwyneth?
QFX says, yep her.
Why'd she do
Shurikitten
that?
says, you made me apologize LOL.
I did. You were wrong. I know he can be annoying sometimes, but he didn't deserve a ban. But at the same time, people know not to mess with you. So, I mean, I think we all learned valuable lessons. That was Thanksgiving, too. It was a mess. We lost one guy who never returned. We're from joint to joint. We're just taking our time here.
W1
We're not
Enter
panicking.
ST0RM says, isn't that the woman that has all her businesses based on pyramid schemes? Shurikitten says, he's a little douchebag that thinks he's better than
Hey,
everyone else and makes fun of people who post in your critique channels. QFX says,
sometimes he would do that.
how did the apology go?
It
Shurikitten
went.
says, he deserves it.
I.
Sheer Curry says, what did he do? Futury Oil Painter
She
says,
just
he'll get you guys some band deodorant sticks.
look. Listen. Shirimiya is a tiny little thing, but she's vicious, and you got to know that about her. She's tough, and when she strikes hard. Don't get her rallied up. She's like a python waiting to strike. Okay, like a cobra. Don't want to do that. I already made Jeff compliment her ass because the way to her heart is through her ass. We all know this.
Shurikitten says, I'm happy he got broken up with. Pussy bitch. QFX says, someone has to.
Is it out of your system yet? Let's do the butt for chair. Woo! All right. Somewhere around there. Something like that. That's where I'm getting it. Maybe. And then from here.
Shuri Kitten says. Gazebo.
This is tough. This is a tough one. So it might go over that way
Future
some,
Oil
a little
Painter
bit.
says. Yep, that's it. Shuri Kitten says. Gas on gas. Shuri Kitten says. It corrects it still.
Hmm.
Future Oil Painter says. Diagonal line. Shuri Kitten says.
That is a
They
bit.
censored the Spanish word for tits.
Did they really? I have got to be careful that they don't pick this up as a nude.
Shuri
Which I
Kitten
think we're
says.
good.
That's so specific lol. Future Oil Painter says. From her right elbow all the way down to her right foot.
That's what you're saying right there?
QFX
That one?
says. Tits should never be censored.
That's what I'm saying. Things are too like sensitive because they're Karens who are running the world right now because they don't whatever. Anyway, I won't go on a
Sheer
rant on
Curry
that.
says. Spanish tits are extra spicy.
Of course they are because they have hot sauce and they use it wisely or they use it.
Shuri Kitten says. What are yours like, Curry?
This actually comes over that way. Talking about her tits? I want to talk about, I want to put Curry on the spot.
QFX says. XD. Shuri Kitten says. Netherlands tits yes.
Curry is too
Sheer
graceful
Curry
to
says.
answer that. Oh, here it is.
Without going into too much detail, nothing to write home about.
Oh, don't
QFX
sell
says.
yourself short.
I respect the openness. Future Oil Painter says. Those Spanish bulletin bees made Goya go insane in the man brain.
Let's move this over just a little bit. We're shifting the neck some and the head. If we need to bring it back, we can, but this is a subtle shift, right? Oh, poor Curry. Don't sell yourself short, Curry. Right here.
Sheer Curry says. LMAO. Shuri
Oh,
Kitten says. QFX, how do you say tits in German? Almond the Painter says. Good evening,
Alman,
everyone.
what's up, man? How are you?
QFX says. Titten.
Really? It's almost in sharing me his name, ironically enough.
Sheer Curry says. Shuri, you are artistically gifted, right? Sheer Curry says. Chestically. Shuri
Chestically.
Kitten says. So cute kitten titten, D.
Shouldn't
Future
be.
Oil
I'm the
Painter
perfect
says.
package.
Ta TAS or big UNS. QFX says. Jiraiya Titan.
There, and then this part right here, we could do a straight line, but look, it's going to look weird if you just do this, right? So I
Sheer
normally
Curry
break this
says.
down into two.
Dick titten.
So I normally say, okay, arm kind of going 1,
QFX says.
2.
Reusictage Titan.
And then this piece. Just bring that in some. And if we need to, we can kind of trim it down.
Futury Oil Painter says.
Something
Tough
like that.
elbow.
Oh, it's not bad. This is okay. I was just demonstrating, so like you want to clean it
Sheer
up. So
Curry
that
says.
1.
QFX knows the word for tits in every language.
Sure he does. Do that. Something like that right there. And then this.
QFX says. That's all I know in Dutch, but it usually gets me far.
Oh, it gets you far. In your video
Sheer
game that
Curry
you're
says.
playing.
Now let's talk about all you guys' manhood.
Sure. And then from here, we'll just fix this. It's like the most educational
QFX
art
says.
lesson.
I mean you're the one playing it. Sheer Curry says. Short conversation.
She was just waiting for that one. She's like, yeah, enter. Got him. Look at that. There you go. There is a basic um, well, it's looking all right. Pretty
Futury Oil
basic.
Painter says. Nope, last time I talked about my manhood I ended up married, never again.
Never again. And that's the kind of the idea
Almond the
behind
Painter
marriage.
says. Have we truly examined life today, dear brothers and sisters, the essence, the symbol of the mother's
Oh
milk,
no.
that enveloped the sky in a grand dance and made what is now, what we know as the Milky Way.
Guys, this is the weirdest thing. All right, so from here,
QFX says. I don't wanna brag, but on a warm day I grow up to an inch.
I don't want to brag, but I'll brag right now, really quick, and then I'll stop and say I don't want to brag. 1.
Sheer Curry says. Alman, are you a poet?
Let's do this. Boom! 1, 2. Just cut it off.
Sheer Curry says. QFX, so you go up to 1 inch.
Look at that. Look at that. Now, is it right? Probably not. So we always have to fix it.
QFX says.
It's blocking.
Yep, 5 in girth though.
I don't picture any of this stuff.
Sheer Curry says. 5 MMS.
What?
Alman the Painter says. I have written and published in an amateur magazine, but a visual poet as in painter, yes, Sheer Curry. QFX says.
Woo!
Possible,
Cool.
I never looked.
Oh gosh. QFX has been waiting to have this conversation for ages. And now it's finally here. He doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's being insulted because they're still thinking about his junk.
QFX says. Kind of funny though that every guy has measured his thing at least once in his lifetime. Alman the
Where are you
Painter
getting this
says.
from?
Apparently the river where Eurypid and Eurydice have wandered is presumed to be where I live, so I guess the poetry part makes sense. Windy City 1828 says. Look, thanks for the entertainment tonight.
You're
It's
welcome.
getting late over here, so I will
All
say
right,
good
Windy
night.
City. All right, from
Catch
the
you again.
UK. I'll see ya.
QFX says.
Get
Gotta
some
know where
rest.
you're at.
You don't do it out of despair and concern. Be like, this can't be right. Try your hardest. It's a warm day. Time to go measure. Your mom asks, where are you going? Nowhere. And then 20 minutes later, QFX, why were you crying in your room earlier? I wasn't crying.
Cher Curry says. That's why QFX is so sad in the winter.
Oh, QFX smiling. They're still talking about my junk. Dear diary,
QFX
today
says.
was a
Is that
glorious.
what happened to you? That's why she doesn't go down to the basement anymore when you're down there.
You can't. Those jokes are so weak and they lack the creativity that I just naturally bring to the table here. Okay. Idiot. Burn. You're weak.
Future Oil Painter says. Quick joke, this guy in grade school would sit behind two other boys, and he would scratch both their heads, and say my balls itch.
That's actually good. I like that one. That's a good one. And bring this foot out some. Just a little, like a little bit there. So, and what do? We clean it up. See, now, like we keep it here and we just keep on correcting and making these. So like the leg needs to swing out just a little bit. All right. That's what we need to do. We also need to be thinking about the form, right? Understanding the form. How this goes, man. I'll just reblock that part in. All right, I'll leave that there because I want to keep this point here. Go across. So notice I'm using my eraser at the
QFX
same time.
says. Are you saying you never measured?
Me? The measuring tape is not long enough. No, I'm not gonna measure my junk.
QFX says. Yes.
QFX, I'm not gonna
Almond the
be on
Painter
stream
says.
saying that I measure my
The
dick.
obsessions with one's eros is quite fascinating, considering that people who could not rule their passions would get banished from the city in ancient Greece.
QFX would have waved bye-bye to that city. Like he
QFX
would have been the
says.
first one.
Interesting.
Interesting. Ah. You cannot control your arrows, QFX. Your arrows is crooked. You sod. This is looking weird. I
Cher
keep
Curry
on.
says.
I don't know if this
I'm
goes
gonna
straight.
start calling it eros now.
Yeah,
Future
arrows
Oil
is
Painter
good.
says. The strip joints in ancient Greece must been wild. QFX says.
Yeah, I bet you they did have strip
My
joints.
arrow seems pretty strong, unlike your two's rating. Cher Curry says. Very dignified. Almond the Painter says. In no way I mean to call anyone out, just thought it a fitting addition to the topic of the evening.
Alman, you definitely need to call people out right now. This is not. Look, Look, you need to contain the situation. It needs to be contained. So I'm not going to really try to break this down anymore. Pretty sure that's where that should be. I'm just like constantly going back over this, right? That's what we do. Constantly. This is looking like it's popping out too much. This whole thing.
Future Oil Painter says.
Maybe this comes
In
out.
Italy they probably said that volcano is about to explode, let's go wild, before it's too late. QFX says. Chicks need to get their boobs measured, why wouldn't we do it for our cock socks?
Because you don't
Almond the
need to
painter
freaking wear a
says.
cock bra.
I shall call upon the guard and a trial to be held at the Agora at once.
There you go. All right. The Agora. I mean, chicks wear like sports bras and stuff, and bras, and whatever else they do, you know? They have major upkeep. You know what? How I get ready in the morning? It's this. I just do this. My hair's ready. Literally, that's it. I just do that. Maybe this.
QFX says. Don't you wear a protective cup in jiu-jitsu? Sheer Curry says.
No,
And
I don't.
whatever else they do.
And I haven't done
Almond the
jujitsu in
painter
forever,
says.
unfortunately. I really
Agora
want to get back.
equals Greek name for public square aka town center.
Ah, there we go. The public square. Ah, yes. All right.
QFX says.
Whatever else.
So if you hit the nuts you're just screwed, huh?
Yeah. 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 I'm just so tired right now. All right. Everybody focus. From here, measure this out. I need to make sure that the standing leg is a standing leg. Standing properly.
QFX says. Looks like you're imagining a past experience.
It did look that way. I know. I was kind of zoning out.
Future
I'm
Oil Painter
like
says. Maybe we'll
so
need to
tired.
break out the string.
No. I don't want to do that. I don't feel like seeing how wrong I am right now, okay? Get off my back. Stop riding my dick. All right. This is. I kind of feel like this needs to move over some to make it stand a little bit more. But
Future
you
Oil
gotta
Painter
draw it
says.
in line with everything else.
LOL. QFX says.
Everybody's been hitting the nuts before.
Actors
Come
wear
on.
cock socks in nude scenes.
Socks? Cock socks?
Almond the painter
Do
says.
they?
Because trials would be held at public places from Greek times up until the early medieval times, before the judicial system got standardized. Sheer
Gotcha.
Curry says. Ignorance is bliss.
So true. So true. So true. 1, 2. So we're just, y'all notice, like, this is how you should be taking your time with this stuff. You know, just, I'm not breaking these lines down. I'm just keeping it here. And here's the other thing. If you want at this stage too, talked about this, I'll go ahead and put some soft shadow shapes in. Just a little bit, right?
Future Oil Painter says. Maybe it doesn't look perfect until you add shadow block.
No, it's that it doesn't look perfect because it's not right now. If I got the shape correct, it'd look a little bit better. And when you develop it a little bit more, it'll look a little bit better. But the lines aren't quite there
Futury
yet,
Oil Painter
but the
says,
shadows do help.
look show quickie how to put soft shadow shapes.
Yeah. See what I'm doing? kind of like, this is how I'm
Almond the
doing. I'm
Painter
kind of going like
says,
this and
is
then
this a
lifting.
follow along that I am not aware of?
Um, yeah, it kind of is. I've been doing these videos, and like the way that I want to do them is like when I have figures up like this, okay, it's gonna have to be AI because I can't go with some real life person. I'm not gonna do that and have them on YouTube. I can't do that. So it has to be these AI images. But if y'all have a real life photo that you want to use, you can kind of follow along, especially if it's in a similar pose. You can kind of work that figure up the same way as I'm working this up. But this is because look, if y'all want to get like my landscape painting, it's like, oh, well, this isn't in your landscape. This is how I learned landscape painting. This right here. This is how you get good at seeing proportions. And that's like when for example, when I'm looking at my dad and, like for his wrists and stuff, like his hands never stay still. And I've changed it so many times. But what I do, I go up, I grab his wrist and I study the form. And I remember these lessons here in drawing, and I try to remember what I see, and then I go and draw it basic and look for these points that I'm showing you here. That's how I do it. And so that's on an advanced level, but this is like the bread and butter of everything that I do. That's why I keep on saying do pencil drawings, even if you're like a landscape artist or if you want to do still lifes, especially like still life. We were trained doing still lifes, but we learned proportions through doing this. And you learn anatomy too, because that's the subject. That's the thing. I wouldn't do these AI. AI is not great to learn off of yet
QFX says,
because the
I do
anatomy is
different
weird.
kind of pencil drawings.
We all know you do. All right. We all know you do. You sicko. So I've been doing these, and so if you want to follow along, you can. And look, I don't know if y'all know, but my
Futury Oil Painter
streams,
says,
I keep up.
I'm using Nitram chalk also. QFX says,
Yeah.
good.
So I keep the streams up on YouTube under two playlists. There is both on
Almond the
Twitch
Painter
and
says,
YouTube, the lives.
awesome. I
So
would be
like,
down for that.
yeah,
I just wasn't on Discord the last few days.
no worries, man, no worries. And so like, um, on Twitch, or I'm sorry, like Twitch, the videos will be left up for a little bit, but on YouTube, I have it so
QFX
all
says,
these recordings go to.
how's that Arnold TDS voice coming along?
I haven't found it. I need to find that. If y'all want to help me, please do. But there are two playlist sections that the stream goes to. So I have these streams all on YouTube. There's YouTube, I think regular live. If you go to the live section, all the videos will pop up, and I also have Twitch streams, and the same video will pop up now because it's both the same stream. So you can find all the streams I've done on my YouTube channel still. So like I leave them up. I used to take them down, but now I just leave them up. It's a little bit algorithms and YouTube's a little
Futury
bit.
Oil Painter says, and if you want to learn how to unlearn Lewis lessons, you can join my streams at night.
Exactly. You can find him normally starting around
Almond the Painter
11:30,
says,
12.
Signore is a legend.
The Signore. So, but this is like, you don't always need to catch him. I do this stuff because I really, for whoever wants to learn this stuff, I want y'all to be able to do it.
QFX says,
That
not in shuffle though.
I don't know. I'm very discouraged there right now. It is a hard time. This is wrong. This anatomy is wrong. I need to figure that out. I think this needs to raise some, which it does, which means this needs to raise or go over some. Maybe? No. Yes, but not that much. That comes up. So I'm keeping it the same. And then this piece actually, I think, this is kind of messing me up right here. Let me clean that up. What the hell's wrong with this?
QFX says, this Dutch chick and her hubby are looking for a third guy. Sounds like a job for me.
And here, if you like this shadow area is too much, and it's just not. This should be here. So
Future Oil Painter
this comes
says,
over.
you mean the AI picture is wrong anatomically?
I think so. I think this one is a little bit. It's sometimes hard to tell what's off, but sometimes it looks a little bit weird. Let's bring that in and let's cut this off right here. All right, so we're making these
QFX
sweeping
says,
changes.
I think the pump at glad level at end of season.
I I'll tell you the problem I'm having right now, and it kind of applies to this. This might help y'all. As it's going to sound stupid, but as painters and artists, I think this will help y'all. The issue that I'm facing right now in that stupid game is that I am so tired that I cannot figure things out. I can't think, and nor the things that I used to be able to do without thinking, I have to think now. And like that's how I'm just mentally just really worn out. In art, it is coming out some, but I know how to do this better. And so what I want to relate to is in drawing or painting, when you're doing this stuff, which is very hard and you can't see it and it's very frustrating, um, when you get mentally tired, you're going to be making more mistakes and
Sheer Curry
sometimes your work
says,
level goes down.
I feel like the right leg is wrong on the reference. Because the knee is bended but the foot is beyond the left leg. QFX says, maybe change your keybinds. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's like you put your dame's rotation on your mouse.
Oh, like yeah, the keybinds do need to be like you're talking about how everything's organized. I agree with that. 100%, man. But the thing is like right now, and I think that's the thing, is like at night, the problem I'm having is um like ideally I'm at a point right now where I need to be there for my parents. Um and I like that. I really do. I like taking care of them, but um it's hard because I also need to unwind myself like mentally, right? You kind of need something to fun to do
QFX
because
says,
I like
why do you not have your basic DPS Roshan on 1 to 5 and ERQ?
how do you know what I have? But anyway, but yeah, so like I need to unwind at the end of the day, but by the time I can, I'm like so tired that I just want to go to bed, which I have been doing. Um, but if I don't, then it's just frustrating because I can't think. And so maybe I just watch TV, but I don't want to just sit and watch TV. So it's kind of a crazy problem I have right now. Kind of weird, honestly. It's like I never thought I'd be in a position because like I'm trying to force myself to do something fun. And I like going out, but I mean it's like I don't really have anybody to do stuff with right now. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Really weird. This is off. Curry, you might be right about that foot. I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust like here's the other thing is that in these like in a real life situation, I've looked at things and be like, there's no way this is real. Then I look in real life, I'm like, wow, like you do have that. Or sometimes that's why it's tricky because lighting does that sometimes.
QFX says,
You know.
ever consider just taking some time off at the end of the day to just measure your junk, drink some wine to it, smoke some cigar, not your own though. Sheer Curry says, go somewhere with Brian.
Great. No, you just want the stories from that. You, Brian's cool. I need to honestly. I mean, Zerk's and Val is fun. Zerk's especially is like one of my best friends, and he's freaking hilarious. I don't know if y'all have ever heard him before. He's he's pretty chill, but it's frustrating because normally it is frustrating to me because normally I'm pretty sharp with stuff, but when you see yourself making mistakes and doing stupid things, and you're like, you just can't, that's frustrating. Sometimes that happens. So I think
QFX
the
says,
solution is to get
write your
sleep.
wow wife.
Zerks, yeah, yeah. But yeah, sometimes, you know, it's
Share
kind of
Curry
crazy. It's a
says,
crazy situation.
you
Crazy.
could meet Juri.
Should he, Mia? Well, yeah. I mean, I could. I could. She'd be, she and Jonathan would be fun to hang out with. But I think they live a little bit of a distance. Um, but no, it's like right now, I have to take care of my parents, and that's a good thing. Like I'm actually very happy. I'm not like miserable with it. It's just like anything. It's just like if I was playing sports,
Future oil
you
painter
always
says,
need time to rest, and
Brian
that's the
probably
thing.
gets home, and says finally, puts on that shiny happy people holding hands song from the 90s.
Right, right. Brian's like, I was teaching him today, and as I was teaching him, I was just like, he was ranting about something. We had Beethoven playing in the background, his peaceful Beethoven song, and the stuff he's saying is crazy. I told him, I was like, you're insane. Literally said that. And I was just sitting there listening to him, and then I was just watching him draw, and he just has a smile on his face the whole time. He's like, I'm just like, this can't be real. Ugh. I think I even told him, I said, you're about to get punched or something. I was like, I really want to just like uppercut you right now.
QFX says, at this point he's out of fucks to give if he loses him as a student.
I mean, I don't want to lose him. I've known him long enough where I consider him a friend. And I genuinely, one of my frustrations with him is I want him to be good. And I told him, I was like, dude, how many teachers would go out of their way like I do with you? I was like, you have a damn good teacher. It's what I said to him today. I did. I said so because it's true. I was like, I'm watching out for him, you know. I am. I'm watching out for him. Trying to, but I told him, I said,
QFX
you
says,
believe crazy
you're
shit. You just
always
gotta
in a
stop.
bad mood when he's in the room, Sti. Future
I,
oil
I'm
painter
not as
says,
much as I might look.
he probably has a calendar with a picture of your face on studio days. QFX says,
No,
full duration. Future
he's
oil
cool.
painter says, a big smile.
Big smile.
Share Curry says, it does get harder to learn stuff as you age.
Yeah, I can see that. But I think a lot of that too is just like oftentimes when you're older, you might not have that, you might not focus. Like I think I've seen people, for example, um, he's actually doing a very good job. It's just he doesn't do it enough because he has so many things he's doing, right? I've never really bought into, and maybe I'm wrong. I've never bought into that the older you get, you just can't learn things. I think it's more of there's more distractions when you get older. And like when you're younger, you're a kid, you have less, you still have distractions, but they're less and things are a little bit more simple. They are. And they're more focused and geared towards you. And I think that makes a difference. So I think if you're, say, in your 50s or 60s, and if you have the time, and if you're willing to put the work into it and
QFX
study just
says,
like you were when you were
yeah, I've
young,
noticed my memory was better in my 50s.
yeah. But I think I do believe people can go much further. I think, in other words, I think people get in their own heads and psych themselves out. Because if you think that you're going to suck, you are going to suck. I've done that to myself before. I do it all the time. And it's a trap that I fall into, and I fall into it a lot. And I just, but it's when if you wake up and you're like, I hate saying this, if you're positive, you'll have a better day because better things will happen. It does work. Um, and I think it's the same with learning. If you say to yourself, I can't do this, you're not going to be able to.
QFX
100%
says,
not.
you ever thought that
You need to
behind
have
a
that
Wendy's
confidence.
dumpster?
That's where I
Share
learned it from.
Curry says. Disgusting.
Damn right, it's disgusting. You know, I don't know. I mean, but no, I think this is all messed up top. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing is if you keep on.
Future Oil
I
Painter
did a great
says.
job with the shadow shows, didn't
Yup,
I?
when you don't have a fam constantly yanking your arm about something, I'd get some stuff done. I'd probably be at least drawing posters, do strip joints, lol.
There you go. So you said it right there. But no, I'm serious. I mean, think about it. Like when you're younger, you're really putting a lot of energy into what you're doing. You're going for it, right? But if you're taking it as a hobby later on in life, you're not going to go that far. And so people say, "Oh, I can't learn it." No, you can. It's just you're not being serious about it because at that point they might be resting. But I do believe that if you, I still think that people can learn. That's just my thought because I've given that thought. I think we hear things and then we roll with it too much. Now I could be wrong about that. Somebody could bring up some science, be like,
QFX
this is the
says.
study of the brain, blah blah
I don't
blah.
remember how it was being a young whippersnapper.
But no, that's how I think it. But look, this right here is pretty simple, right? It is. It's pretty simple, and everything's changeable. And you'll get faster. Don't worry about the speed. You're gonna
Future
get
Oil
this
Painter says.
if you just take your
I'm
time and
still
just
learning
keep.
every day.
Yeah, you learn every day, but like something difficult, something hard. I guarantee you, like say if you were to take up an instrument, and if you were to pretend like you were young and be like, all right, I have to do
Future
this every
Oil
day. Or
Painter
I'm getting
says.
like this. I'm getting
I
graded
see
on this.
controlled chaos.
Like if you really take it serious and you find the right teachers and do what's uncomfortable, I guarantee you, man. Um, and get sleep and focus. Like it was like sports. Like you would you would prepare for it. You wouldn't just go in and just do it casual, right? Everything was sensitive. Like you had to get enough sleep. You had to eat right. You had to do this. You had to do that. Like in anything that you do, right? Studying, you had to have your head in the game, and you could do everything right. But if you weren't performing at peak performance, and you had to psych yourself into it. You had to play mind games. You had to do it. All those things go into anything you want to get good at. I think I'm firmly believe that the
Future
age
Oil
doesn't really
Painter
matter.
says.
I've always believed
Yup.
that. Always. Always. Even when I was a little younger. I'm not that old, but I'm just saying, like, you know, like with me, and that's why I diagnose these things. It's good to self-assess because that way you know how to fix something in
QFX
yourself that you're
says.
doing wrong.
That's how you need to treat arena. Live in it. Breath it. Absorb it all.
See, that's it. That's exact. You're right about that. And the thing is, I can't do that right now. So it's frustrating getting into it and playing because it's like that's the competition. But back to art, I mean, that's how drawing and painting is. But it's tricky because you have to have the right teaching, and there's so much bullshit out there that's like, how do you know? Especially if you're first starting, how do you know what's right and what's wrong? Like I can look at things, I can tell y'all, and you can trust me or not. That leg's off. Damn it. You see things as you go. Actually, this needs to go over some probably. But that's and stepping back, which I wasn't doing enough today. Um, but yeah. Anyway, guys, I 6:51. I gotta go and take care of the goat.
Future Oil Painter says. That's why the military goes hard after high school kids, but I gotta say I met some people in the military that no business being in the military, maybe the Girl Scouts.
Huh?
QFX says. They don't, they get queued into glads and get clapped to hell to never queue another one.
I know.
QFX
I know.
says.
It's rough, man.
Arrivederci.
All right, guys, y'all are awesome. I'll see ya.
Shrikitten
I'll
says.
try to stream
See
tomorrow.
ya, I had to run out and buy a lamp. Share Curry says.
I love lamp.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. I'll see y'all. I love lamp. Stop streaming.